is Christopher. I work with the Ghana Chamber of Mines.
Okay.
So it was a very brilliant presentation, Honorable. And of course, having worked with you while we were at the ministry, it shows that, yes, indeed, you are our minister. So thank you very much for your presentation. So one thing I just wanted to, just to put out there, because of the forum that we find ourselves in, because of factual one, I think you were referring to Daman, which is owned by Goldfields. By Goldfields instead of Newmont.
Okay.
And again, just for the fact, it wasn't because at the time that the agreement was signed, they did not develop. They actually developed. But in terms of the renewal of the lease, it was a question of an intention whether the mine wants to continue or they wanted to flip the asset to another entity. So if you look carefully at the letter that declined the renewal request from the Minerals Commission, it was premised more on the lack of declaration of reserves, which suggests that the company was intending to flip the asset rather than develop on its own. So just because of the forum we find ourselves in, I wanted to just to bring this out. And also you make a very brilliant submission around how information asymmetry contributes to the situation that we find ourselves in. And I keep asking this same question every day. If in this forum we're to ask how much does, say, for instance, mining give us annually, I'm sure most of us will not be privy to it, because there's no mechanism for us to be able to report that. When we found oil, we did something very brilliant with the Petroleum Revenue Management Act, where all proceeds from oil, in terms of what accrues to the state, gets into that particular fund and have a way of monitoring it, reporting it, so that all stakeholders get to know. But we did not do that with the mining sector. So as we speak, everything that we get from mining ends up in the consolidated fund. So whether that money is going to be used in the payment of a judgment debt, you and I, we don't know. Whether that money will be used in constructing any roads at all, we are not too sure about it. So again, we want to just support what our Honorable Minister said, that if there's a mechanism that we can cure this information asymmetry, it's just simply by reporting on this information, and then we get to find out. Two, again, in the oil and gas sector.
This is 4.
Okay, so 3. So this is 3. This is 3. In the oil and gas sector, well, there's something we call Heritage Fund, where a portion of the money is set aside for posterity. Yeah. But we don't have that in the oil and gas sector. Of course, I know our finance minister currently is reconsidering how we are going to use that. But it's essential that we try and mimic or model what we have in the oil and gas sector for the mining, just to be able to cure the problem of information asymmetry. And then back to the question around the community involvement.
Please, last one. So
okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yes. So just around the issue of how do we get the benefit? How do we maximize our benefit from it? Duke rightly pointed out that participation in the sector does not start with mining. It starts with exploration. So we can't have a law as a country where we say causing financial loss to the state. If someone goes to explore and the person does not get any resource at all, will we classify that as causing financial loss to the state and that person will be jailed because of that? If you don't participate at the exploration state and you only sit and wait for the mineral to come into production before you step in to negotiate, obviously what you're going to get will be lower. So as a country, we must be willing to put our money in that particular aspect of the business. That is exploration. If we explore, we own the data. The data is the money, not the mineral. The data is the money. Whoever has control over the data is the one that has the money. So let's look at it, how as a country, we can put our money, if not as a state, even as individuals. There's a stock exchange, for instance. Why wouldn't we resource our local survey authority, for instance, to do the exploration for us? If they get the data, we can just list. You and I can put our money in there. The pension funds can also put their money there. Like the Honorable Kandapa said, he's very right. Nobody brings his or her money here. They all go to the stock exchange to go and raise funds. Nobody will bring their personal money here. So nothing stops you and I also using our own pension funds, for instance, to be able to do that, or going to the Ghana Stock Exchange to be able to do that. So participation is in exploration, not at the mining phase. Otherwise, we'll not get anything at all. And it simply address what my apostle said, that if you are coming at that stage, then you are negotiating from a weaker position.
Definitely.
So that's a little comment I want to add to this whole conversation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now to the high